You know, everybody loves a comeback. 6 years ago, uh, we had a match between the Chief, Ray Ayola, uh, Frankie Reyes, and myself. There I am. There. This was 6 years ago, and so I brought all that up, and I said all that to say this: 6 years later, everybody loves a comeback. In 1968, Elvis had a comeback. And it's interesting that I'm 68. Uh, Evel Knievel, he had lots of comebacks. Matter of fact, I think it was he was 35 when he performed his last jump, and he might as well have been 60 or 70 as much as he beat his body up. Uh, Muhammad Ali, he was put in a position where he was taken out of what he loved the most. He had a comeback. And so, as I stated, everybody loves a comeback, but to be able to have a comeback, you have to have actually have really done something that was worth coming back for. And that's where we come today, and that's why you're here today. And really, that's why we're talking with you today. Back in June 9th of 2018, I became the oldest man in the world who made his pro wrestling debut at 61 years old. I started training at 60 years old, and I trained for 17 months and actually was able to pull this off. And many of you who know our story, um, the banner here, Joseph Saraceno, the oldest man in the world who made his pro wrestling debut June 9th, 2018. And I think um, as we're inviting you technically into my home and into my studio today, we want to let you know how we got here. And so all of this just didn't happen because I wished it. All of this just didn't happen because I hoped for it. A lot of us are going through some things and we'd like to have changes in our life. But there's a statement that I want you to remember. Actually, I'd like you to repeat it after me. It's what your soul decides, your will provide. Go ahead and say it with me. Can't hear you out there, folks. What your soul decides, your will provides. And so, aside from sounding arrogant or prideful and so on and so forth, this just didn't happen on accident. It happened because I had determined that I wanted to do something and create an environment that would follow up from where we started 6 years ago. Now, why do I want to come back? Well, first of all, I feel like I got robbed, just to be honest with you. I feel like I got robbed by Guinness World Book of Records. Guinness, if you're out there, you robbed me. I'm not, you robbed me. Uh, because I didn't make my pro wrestling debut in a WWE format, although we have all the documentation for all the wrestling I did, you wouldn't allow me to become that, to have that honor, because it wasn't in let's say, a WWE format. And so that's another reason that we're here. It's never too late to start again, and it's never too late to have a comeback. And more than that, even when I began to work in this business, I had so much support. There was so much support with Joey and myself, but there was a lot of people out there that looked at me, for the lack of a better term, like a carpetbagger. I don't know if you know what that means. You may have to go to a dictionary. If not, I can't help you. But basically, where I didn't belong here, because I didn't, as it were, pay my dues. Well, let me tell you something about paying dues. Why don't you start training at 60 years old? A lot of you, your career's already over with, and I respect. I've always shown respect. I've always given the honor that was due. But at the same time, go ahead and start at 60 years old when your body isn't the same as it was in 20 or 30 years old, and see if you could do what we were able to pull off. So, with that in mind, I also want to bring you to the other reason that we're here, is that on November 16th, Saturday, in about a month, we're going to start a pilot for studio taping for studio wrestling here. And we couldn't think of a better way to begin this is to go back to that match that you saw there. And let's have the Chief, let's bring Bob, let's bring Darlene, let's bring Mike McClaskey, let's bring Frankie. And aside from the 4 or 5 matches that we're going to have on Saturday, November 16th, we're going to have a contract signing, and it's going to be a signing for a future match, technically really with the Chief and myself, but Frankie will be signing with Chief. Got no qualms. I have lots of respect for Frankie, not so much for Chief. Going to have to admit he's technically been riding on my coattails for all these years. I mean, do you really think the Chief would be where he was today if it wasn't for me? I mean, no offense. I mean, this is the wrestling business, and you know, Bob Cook has shown me a lot of things, brought me to light about this business. And with that in mind, we're also going to have a contract signing, and who knows? It could be a tag team. It could end up, I mean, I hear all kinds of craziness that they got, Frankie has some kind of an ace in the hole, and well, let him do what he's going to do. But as far as the comeback is concerned, why don't you guys all come back? Those of you who visited before, I need at least 30 of you to come and visit. We'll have more details soon, but ultimately the comeback in this particular situation is to settle the score. And it's that match that we had earlier that you just actually saw on the television. So for now, I'm going to sign off. I want you to know that I appreciate all of you. And those of you who don't appreciate what I've done, or you can go kick sand, pound sand, jump into like whatever you want to do, because I've shown my respect, and I think there's some respect that needs to be for what's happening here right now. So soon I'll be back with you. There'll be more information. I want you to take it easy. November 16th, in about 30 days, we're going to have the show. We're going to have matches. We're going to have a contract signing. And we're going to go back and make a comeback. So anyway, you guys take it easy. Talk to you soon.